Senor, you got me? Test. Test 1, 2.
Test.
Test 1, 2.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Lee Athletic Center, and we're sorry that we couldn't get you guys the soccer game earlier today, but we made a quick shuffle, and we are in the Lee Athletic Center bringing you the varsity volleyball game between the Grace Christian Academy Lady Rams and the Webb School Lady Spartans. And, well, so Mike Patel joined alongside Will Lawver and Russell Wilder. It's going to be a good game tonight. Both teams are doing very well. And we're getting set to start. And the Lady Spartans, their starters are Scout McLaren, Frances Harrison, Kelly Vidito, Caitlin Flickinger, and Jade Jones. And also Catherine Saliba is in there. Guys, what are you expecting from this game as we are underway now from the Athletic Center? Russell?
I expect a strong finish from the Webb players. As you can see, it's a quick save by Saliba there. Bounce back from McLaren.
Yeah. So, what about you, Will? I mean, we haven't done a volleyball game yet this year as the Lady Spartans are first on the board. What are you expecting, Will, from this game?
Well, I'm expecting a strong offense from the Lady Spartans like they always put up in volleyball games. It's going to be a really good match here tonight.
Yeah, it sure is. You put it right in the right word. And Scout McLaren, second serve, second point off of that serve. Lady Spartans are up 2-0. And McLaren, one of the three key freshmen that are actually starting tonight, and there's also a couple other ones that come in later off the bench. But McLaren, one of the key freshmen here in this game, and the Lady Spartans not able to get that point as the serve went out of bounds, and so it'll go over to the Lady Rams. They have a couple of substitutions in, and number 1, Shay Saunders is set to serve for the Grace Christian Academy Lady Rams. That serve, guys, I mean, kind of hard to see here as we are a little farther back, but we're here, and it looked like it could have gone out, could have gone in. Lady Spartans didn't know, and it's called in, possibly on the line. So, Russell, what do you think of that?
I think this is one of those plays that's going to happen, or you're going to get it or not. It's not really anything you can do about it for the look. And there goes Saliba back with a brilliant spike that leads the Rams out of bounds.
Yes, Catherine Saliba, really good volleyball player. I got to see a couple of their games on last Friday, and they're a really solid team as Frances Harrison is set to serve now. And Will, just talk about the freshmen and how key they are to this team and just the future of this team.
The freshmen are a very vital part of the Webb offense. And the freshmen, they're showing good leadership, especially as freshmen. And as they get older, it's going to be a good couple years for the Webb volleyball program.
Yeah, it really is. Senior night tonight, and Mary Carol Overholt and Kelly Vidito, two of the big seniors. It's gonna be tough losses, but it looks like they've got that. Covered pretty well. The Lady Rams making a little bit of a comeback from their 2-0 deficit, up 4-3 now. As we have number, I believe that was. I'm not quite sure who had the serve there, but nonetheless, very great game so far. As
I believe that was number 5.
Harrison with the spike.
Yeah, Frances Harrison had the spike on that last one, like you were saying, Russell. Lady Spartans able to get the points. And we're having a little confrontation here with the coaches and I think they're talking to the cameraman that's down there. Have him get off the court. And that he was on the court. You know, volleyball, one of the loudest games there are. And it's really interesting to see. So, here we go. Serve. Jay Jones up there in the net. No need for it to block that one as the ball didn't even get over. As the Lady Spartans here, another point there. They're up 5-4 here. Mary Carol Overall with the jump serve. That's really tough to do. I tried to do it in gym class a couple times. Hard thing. Frances Harrison off the spike. Tried to dig it out, but wasn't able to hit it under the net.
Morgan Carley with the nice spike there, number 7.
Yeah. So, Will, what do you think? What are you thinking of this game and the tempo of it?
Well, so far I like the tempo. It's pretty fast-paced. I think we're going to see a pretty high-scoring game tonight.
Yeah, most likely. And Russell, what do the Lady Spartans need to do to keep away from this Rams attack on their when they're defending?
Honestly, with the Lady Spartans offense, there's no need for defense. Their offense is their defense. That's how they've won this season. That's how they will continue to win.
Yeah, very true. Their offense is their defense. As Madeline Tisdale is into the game for the Lady Spartans in place of Scout McLaren. Catherine Saliba, jump serve. Got to witness her last year in 8th grade. Just a monster on the court. And I believe we're going to have a Lady Spartan point on that one. It'll now be 7-5 in favor of the Lady Spartans. You know a little bit of volleyball, but I'm not quite sure what happened there. Maybe illegal touching on the net, hand contact on the net. Saliba again with the jump serve, and the jump serve spin downward, and Jade Jones there. I don't know if that's the direction that she wanted to hit it in, but nonetheless drops it over and gets the point. What a play by Jade Jones, Will.
That was a great play by Jade, and it comes off that phenomenal serve by Catherine Saliba. She caught half of the Grace team off guard.
Yeah, Saliba there again with the serve. Far jumping up to block it, but no need as it's hit right into the net by the Lady Rams. Russell, what are the Lady Rams going to have to do in this game just to keep up with the hard-hitting Webb offense? Abby Farr, Frances Harrison, Catherine Saliba, just to name a few that I've seen hit extremely hard as Saliba has another jump serve.
Honestly, be able to control where you're hitting the ball. They need to be able to sustain the ball back without letting it go anywhere.
Right. Like you said, need to sustain the ball. Madeline Tisdale tried to drop it over there. Jade Jones did tip it over, but on the return by the Lady Rams, Mary Kayla Overhaul not able to dig it out. And so that's going to be a point for the Lady Rams. It is 9-6 now in favor of the Webb School Lady Spartans. And that serve was out by Lady Rams, so it's going to be Spartan volleyball. And we're going to have Caitlin Flickinger serving. 10-6 is our score right now. And we are, no clock is running, so I can't really tell you how much time we have left. Sorry about that, folks. Flickinger with the serve. The Lady Rams have a little bit of trouble with the return, but that's a great thing about volleyball, the teamwork that they have, guys. And Frances Harrison right there with the spike. Not sure if it's classified as a kill or not, but I know it wasn't touched as it hit off the top of the net. Great teamwork there. In volleyball, 3 hits on a side, but it really takes teamwork and communication. It doesn't, it will.
It does, and so far the Webb Spartans have been showing a good amount of teamwork, and they're playing really good right now.
Yeah, and Russell, how about that spike by Jade Jones?
Nice spike there, but even though it was illegal contact on the Rams, but still it was a nice spike that they would have not got either way.
Yeah, definitely, like you say, and right there, I think just a little bit of miscommunication by the Lady Rams as Caitlin Flickinger served it, right through the middle of their back line, and that's very impressive. Flickinger with the other serve, and not miscommunication, but I'm not quite sure what happened there. Lady Spartans go up 14-6. Clock started, and so I'm not quite sure what happened there as the Lady Rams take a timeout. So, Russell, very quiet here. So far, what do you think of the game?
Well, I think the game's going just like the rest of the season. It's going smoothly with the Spartans, not too high, not too low, just keeping them steady. And I believe the clock started because timeout clock. Yeah. So what do you think so far, Will?
Well, I think so far it's going very good. Your Webb, this is where you want it. You want to keep up that tempo. Your Grace, you want to stop them from scoring, work on your defense, and try to put some points on the board.
Yeah, very true. As we got Caitlin Flickinger still serving there. Here come the Rams. Bump, set, tip over, not a spike, and Lady Spartans set it up. Frances Harrison tried to go for the kill, and you can just see her there. She's like, couldn't get that one. Served it right into the defender's hands, and really nothing you can do about that one, Russ.
It's still no sweat because that's the first spike missed by Harrison this game, and that's a great average for a game.
Yeah, And here comes Harrison again with the spike, as that one will be returnable. However, it's returned out of bounds by the Lady Rams, and so Francis Harrison with the spike and the point for the Lady Spartans. You know, a good friend of mine, talked to her a little bit about volleyball, and she says, really team sport. And that's what we got to work on. That's 15-7 in favor of the Lady Spartans, and they're showing more teamwork right now. But, so Will, right there, you get to see how efficient this Spartan offense combination, like Russell said, as Abby Farr blocked it back into their back court, and they set up Francis Harrison for a real tip-over point. Just, what do you think? What do you think of that?
Well, that was a great team effort on that play for the point. I mean, everyone was going at it, and we have this fast intensity. It's going pretty good if you're the Spartans.
Yeah, it really is, as they get another point there. 17-7 right now, up by 10. You played a games of 25, and played a games of 25. This is the first game, and got the service there, and Lady Rams, a little bit of miscommunication there, not able to get anything going, as Lauren Mays is now the server. Lauren Mays is the server, as she will get ready to serve it, and just kind of floats it over the net. Rams go for the spike. Very hard spike by number 8, Kennedy Wade. That is a very hard spike, but the spike went out of bounds. So that's a tough one if you're the Rams. And again, spiked it into their net. You know, that's just tough. That's just tough right there, guys. 20-7 right now. You're the Lady Rams. What do you have to do right now, Russell? Just not physically necessarily, but mentally back into the game.
Mentally, it hurts to know when you're down that much, but there's another set to go, and if they can easily come back and tie it back up for a third set.
Yeah, they definitely can, like you said. And, this game so far, Lady Spartans showing great defense. We thought Francis Harrison was going to go up for the spike there, but instead just hit it over the net. Mary Carol Overholt, senior team captain, back on the court, and what's it going to be like losing girls like Mary Carol and Kelly, who are just big parts of this team?
Well, there will be some gaps in the volleyball offense next year, but I'm certain underclassmen will step up and fill those roles. The volleyball program is very talented. Well,
definitely upperclassmen are step up fill. We already have 3 seniors starting at a varsity and have another on the bench for varsity. And I believe the entire junior varsity team consists of freshmen as well. So I think we're pretty well built for next year.
Yeah, definitely pretty well filled. As right here, I mean, that's a pretty long rally if you ask me, but Lady Spartans not able to get it, as it looks like number 10, that'll be Belle Carroll, tipped it over right past the outreaching hands of the diving Francis Harrison, and I mean, nothing to really do about that. Number 11, Carolina Pride-Moore with the serve, and there we go, Harrison with the kill. So, Will, Francis Harrison really a big part of this team. Talk about her a little bit.
Well, she's doing very good tonight, and I predict we'll see a lot more of her as the game goes on.
Yeah, definitely. And Scout coming back in, serving again. She started the serve.
Well, Scout has one of the best serves on the team, and as a freshman, that's really good credit, especially going into next year.
Definitely. As Kelly Vitito with the serve there, but unfortunately went out of bounds. 21-10. Lady Spartans, substitution for the Lady Rams. Number 3, Kate Story is into the game. We got the serve. Flickinger sets it up to McLaren. McLaren sets up Saliba. Saliba spikes it. Returned by the Lady Rams. Tipped over by 10, Belle Carroll. Harrison here for the spike. And with the kill. Francis Harrison now back to serve, and that's just seen it all night. Bump set, spike, they set up a Harrison, and she's just done her job, right, Will?
She really has. No matter where she is, serving or hitting, she can do it all.
Yeah, she really can do it all. As that serve didn't quite go her way, 22-11 here, and she kind of hit it on the side of the ball a little bit. But Russell, not anything big as she dives there on the floor. I mean, the Spartan team seems pretty mentally stable. They don't let much get to them.
No, not hardly. It's just little chokes like that happen all the time, and it's just it don't matter what happened. It's how you get back up from that. And clearly, the Spartans can definitely deal with that.
Yeah. Definitely as Mary Carroll overhaul into serve. MC, as she is called by her teammates. So if you hear MC, that's who we'll be talking about. And her father over there is one of the side judges. You know, they always have parents as a side judge, seeing whether it goes out or not. I'm sure he's very proud of the accomplishments that she's made. And her younger brother Cameron's a good friend of mine. You know, really nice people. She's she's a really big part of this volleyball team.
Nice save there by Saliba, back to Jay Jones and McLaren. As Far goes up for the spike, and it is good because a tip of the net, illegal net contact by the Rams.
Yeah, it was net contact, and
that's the end of the first
off,
set.
And it's the end of the first game, and as the Lady Spartans won that game, 25-11. And we are going to switch sides on the court. They're switching sides right now, and so the Lady Spartans will now be on the right of your feed as you're zoomed in on them right now, and the Lady Rams will be on the left. You know, earlier today, Spartans played CAK. We're not quite sure how it turned out because we were at the soccer game, but just talk about how strong this team has been. How strong has this team been so far throughout the year? You know, tough loss at Farragut a couple weeks here at Farragut a couple weeks ago, seeking redemption with that on Thursday. Will, what are they going to have to do to go out and win that game?
Well, I believe they're going to have to keep up this fast-paced tempo that they've been doing against Grace, keep up the hits, keep up their strong offense-defense combination, and score. And that's what they got to do if they want to beat Farragut, a very talented volleyball team.
Yeah, definitely. As we think one step at a time, but this is their last home game. And Russell, I mean, how has this team played throughout the year? How have they gelled? You know, lost legendary coach Dennis Ray at the end of last year. Great guy, great coach. Got to the state semis, state finals a couple times, and just all about how has this team bounced back from losing a great coach like Coach Dennis Ray?
I think overall the team has maintained the reputation that Ray set last year. It was an undefeated season.
Yeah.
Even a slight loss, they're still, as a team, probably one of the best teams out there.
Yeah, definitely one of the best teams out there. As see what happens here as they switch sides. And on the court for Lady Spartans, you've got Mary Carroll Overhaul, Captain Saliba, Ellis Winnery, Francis Harrison, Kelly Vidito, Scout McLaren, and Caitlin Flickinger. It'll be Lady Rams service as Shay Saunders is in to serve. And we're having a little bit of a delay. I'm not quite sure what happened, but
it appears Jay Jones will be going in for Kelly Vidito. Or not.
oh well. Not. You know,
It appears Vidito will be coming out, and we will be keeping Harrison in. Great move by the Spartans. Either way, though, both players can accurately keep this team moving.
yeah, you know, I'm not quite sure what happened there. I think maybe they had a seventh player on the court, to be honest. They only have 6, and spike there, not, Lady Rams. That's number 7, Morgan Crawley, hits it into the net. Not what you want to see if you're the Lady Rams. 1-0 in favor of the Lady Spartans. It will now be Francis Harrison serving for the Lady Spartans. And there's a little floater serve over the net. Comes the spike right back to Harrison, and she hits it into the net, which is not really what you want to see. Ellis Winnery tried to dive and save that one, but it's always tough to do, but just shrug it off there.
Yeah,
And you
that's all
just-
you got to do. And you just got to get the next point and keep it going.
Yeah, definitely.
As you noticed in that last serve, it looked like the Spartans' momentum was kind of slowing down a little bit, and that's not what you want. But I think they're kind of lagging off a little bit on them because of where the score rests. With the Spartans now at a 2-1 lead in the second set.
Right. Spartans are up, just like you said, Spartans are up 2-1. Mary Carroll overall with a bit of a jump serve there. And here come the Lady Rams with the spike to Harrison. Overholt saving that hit, and Farr hits it over the net. And here it comes number 10. That's number 10, Belle Carroll. She tried to tip it over the net, but in fact tipped it into the net. And Mary Carroll Overholt is serving. And well, Russell, how is this game going so far?
I think overall this game is going great in the Spartans' favor, but it's consistency you have to keep up with, and
Yeah, as
some delay on the court at the moment.
Well, your Webb, you want to keep doing what you're doing, basically. You have a 3-1 lead. You want to keep that, expand on it, and that's what you want to do, and eventually win the game. There appears to be some sort of confusion on the court.
Maybe some issue with the rotation order.
yeah, as it seems like Ellis Winnery needed to come out for Jay Jones to go in. You know, Mary Carroll Overholt will be serving as a. I think we're getting back to play here, but you know, I'm not quite sure what happened.
Yeah, Mary Carroll over her seems to be warming up her serve over there, and it looks like the game is back.
It's going to be Lady Rams service because I believe there's a substitution error or an error in the rotation. And
Beneto's going to come back in.
they're still trying to figure out what happened as a. You know, it looks like the referees are going to confer with each other. And I'm not sure if they're wondering who got. I think it's the point total and whose serve it is what the dilemma is over right now, and they're saying that it should be 2-2 rather than 3-1.
I believe the Spartans was a point and the Rams was a point because of it was a legal rotation
Yes.
by the Spartans. So correction would have been 3-1 if not for the rotation issue.
Right. So now it is 2-2, and it'll be Belle Carroll's service. Is the serve, and she serves it to, I believe, Farr hit that one right back to Farr, and
Illegal contact at the net by McLaren. She barely touched the top, but still, it's that if you touch it at all, it's no good.
just like you said, as Carroll ready to serve again, and this time she serves out of bounds. It'll be Lady Spartan point, and Madeline Tisdale will be coming in for Scout McLaren.
Number 3, talk some more.
And looks like we're gonna have Catherine Saliba serving. And Will, what do you think?
Well, I think that was a great hit right there of Catherine Saliba, and a great serve.
As the promotion made by the side judge over there is that it hit the line.
So it's a complete ace. Catherine Saliba has probably one of the best serves on this team. Best jump serve, definitely. But
Yeah, you're the Lady Spartans. You're glad you got Catherine Saliba back there serving.
they really are. It's 4-3 in favor of the Lady Spartans here. And a little miscommunication between Saliba and Harrison there, but they're both laughing over there on the court. This is a long rally right now. Tisdale tries to tip it over. Lady Spartans set back up into their bump set spike formation. Vidita will set it up to Farr, and
Three contact
you're allowed
hits.
3 contacts per side, and the Lady Spartans had 4, so they lose a point. They're tied at 4. Jenna Fukor comes in for Catherine Saliba, and A little bit of miscommunication there by the Lady Spartans.
As you can see now, the momentum for the Spartans has kind of slowed down a lot drastically since that first set, with the miscommunication issue coming up repeatedly, and the Rams' momentum has increased dramatically.
Yeah, as that, that's a tough break for if you're the Lady Spartans. Serve hits the top of the net, which is legal. Budato dives for it, and Tisdale hit it under the net over, so that's not what you want to see. And Will, so many different types of serves you can have, as we just saw the serve with the top spin on it. We've seen the floater, we've seen the jump serve. How big of an advantage is it to the team that has the most different serves that they can use as different assets?
I'd say it's a pretty big advantage because you never know what's going to happen next. Oh, should we counter this type of serve or this kind of serve? It keeps the other team in confusion, therefore giving you an advantage. And the Spartans have worked that advantage perfectly tonight.
As Francis Harrison taking a ball to the back of the head. That didn't sound right. And Caitlin Flickinger, you don't want to see that happen, but they're laughing it off over there as Lauren Mays comes in for Kelly Biddleton, and Ellis Winnery comes in for Mary Carol Overholt, and Lauren Mays will be serving. So yeah, Will, like we're talking about, different players have different serves, but the way the ball spins can really play a big part in who it goes to. As Mays comes back up to get that, and Winnery will hit it over lightly. Gets the point. Lady Spartans down 7-6 in this. Or I believe it's tied 7-all now. 8-6 in favor of the Lady Rams. And so Will. So far, the Lady Spartans behind in this game, but like Russell was talking about, they haven't kept the momentum that they did in the first game. So what do they need to do to get that back as the ball goes out of bounds in the game?
Well, in the first game, they need to keep up that tempo, that very fast tempo that they had in the first game. Here they need to clear their head. It's 0-0 and come out there and score.
Right, you took the words out of my mouth there as Scout McLaren ready to serve.
Excellent return by the Rams. As barely a recovery, and that was an excellent spike by the Rams. The Spartans were unable to maintain and recover that ball, putting the score at 9-7.
Yeah, just like you said, Russell, substitution came in.
And you say it's the little things that matter. Like if there wasn't the illegal formation issue, the game would be tied 8-all right now. But things like that happen.
Yeah, that's the thing about volleyball. It's such an intense, fast-paced game. Anybody can score at any second. You never know what's going to happen next.
Yeah, just like you guys said.
Sleva trying to go up with the spike, but it's blocked by the Rams. Would have been a nice spike, but excellent defense by the Rams there.
Yeah, the Rams defense has worked really hard in between games to try and increase their ability to keep the Spartans out of scoring, and they've really done a good job so far.
Yeah, they really have done a good job, like you guys are saying. And sorry for that little momentary pause, but I had to communicate with my parents really quick. A little miscommunication with the soccer thing. That's 10-9 here in favor of the Lady Rams. Vidito back in for Mays. And like you guys were talking about, they really have to get this tempo back up to what they want it to be, because without that, they can control the game. It's a lot like basketball. It's a lot like basketball in that matter. The team that controls the tempo can control the game. That was the Lady Spartans get a point there, tied at 10. Mary Carol Overholt to serve. She's the team captain. She has her jump serve. Returned by the Lady Rams and tipped over by Vidito there as the ball returned by the Lady Rams goes out of bounds. Lady Spartans regain the lead, and it's 11-10 by the Mary Carol Overholt. MC is still back there serving. Here comes the return by the Rams.
Slight recovery by the Rams.
Yeah.
McLaren with that recovery. Carroll overhaul and back with Farr. Farr taps it over, and that's just what you need. Any way to get it.
Yeah, that was just a beautiful tap there. Mary Carroll overhaul, hit it up, and Abby Farr just tapped it into the right spot at the right time there for the Lady Spartans. Overhaul to serve again, and right there, Farr tried to block it. Overhaul was there, but a little late. Farr tried to block it, and that's tough on a team when the block is deflected into a different area. 12-11 favor the Lady Spartans.
Yeah, you're Webb. You're trying to continue that momentum. They've had a nice little drive going. You want to do that again and score some more points.
Yeah, I definitely want to score some more points. As Saliba goes for the serve, but it is blocked back down by the Lady Rams.
See, the problem, as I said earlier, the Spartans, their defense is their offense. Offense is all that they have, and if you slow that down, you really don't have a defense.
Right.
And you see the offense come back there with a great spike. But for the Lady Spartans, putting them at a 13-12 lead.
Yeah, Francis Harrison had a really nice spike there for the point.
Yeah, definitely, like you guys just said. And, I completely lost my train of thought. I'm sorry, guys. But, just so far this game, they've controlled the momentum, came back and took the momentum and the tempo from the Lady Rams in this game to regain a 13-12 lead. And
Saliba back up there with the serve, and nice delivery by the Rams on that spike. And Vidito touched the net, slight touch of the net.
Yeah, Vidito slightly touched the net, can't do that. You can touch the top. You can't really touch the top of the net, but the ball can touch the top of the net and still be in play. So, but any contact with that net, it's going to be a point for the other team. As Farr here with the serve. She kills that exact term. That's the kill. Abby Farr, just such a great all-around player, knows where to hit it. She has, reminds me of a quarterback. I hate to keep bringing up other sports like this, but reminds me of a quarterback. Exceptional vision, as she knows where to hit it.
She has great field vision. She can see the whole field, and she knew what was going to happen, and she scored the point.
Caitlin Flickinger there, as her serve is returned and blocked by Harrison, but Lady Rams able to get off basically the ground on that, and we're gonna have
Harrison with a slight touch, trying to execute that spike, but her hand touched the net, unfortunately, tying the Spartans, and Rams back up at 14 all.
Okay, so a slight touch of the net, and it's gonna be Lady Rams point 14 all here as Vidito hits it. But her hit will go out of bounds, and that's not what you want to see. 15-14 in favor of the Lady Rams. It'll be number 7, Morgan Crawley to serve. Returned by Overhaul. Tisdale tries to tip it over. Blocked back. Harrison dove for it. Not able to get to it. Crawley's going to serve again, 16-14.
See, that's just one of those things. If we, I wish we could have replay on this, but if you look, she just moved her hand. Her head never turned with the ball to see where she was going to do with it, so she just tossed it up, and that's one of those careless errors that really determines whether you can keep on consisting with the momentum or not.
Yeah, just like you were saying, you need to turn your head and see where you're going to hit it. But I don't know if she was trying to do much on that, just trying to get it over for the Lady Spartans. They gain a point there, 16-15 now, so they regain the service. Front serve spike, but dug out by number 6, Sophie Grayson. But we see three Lady Spartan volleyball players on the ground. You can tell that they really give a lot of effort, but weren't able to
get involved.
Point.
Yeah, all the Lady Spartans are all going for it, and I guess it's just who gets to there first. And fortunately, they didn't get that one, but they're back in, and they'll try next time.
Excellent execution there by the Rams, knowing they're a complete ace to stop them, and score now. The Rams are up Spartans on 18-15 the second set. Really, this will determine whether the Spartans can end it. They need to end it now, or they will have to play a whole nother set. And as you can see, the momentum has slowed down completely.
Yeah, you're the Rams. You want to keep up this intensity. Now the intensity is in the Lady Rams' favor, and they They want to win this game. They're 7 points away. They want to keep it up.
Yeah, they definitely do. As you got the serve into the net there, or the return into the net there for the Lady Rams. 18-16 in favor of the Lady Rams. McLaren will come back in for Tisdale, and she will be serving as well as Saliba in for Fuqua. 18-16 here in the second period, as the Lady Spartans are down to the Lady Rams 16-18 after winning the first game.
Yeah, that was a great spike there by Scout McLaren for the serve. Really good serve.
And Francis Harrison will try and spike it over, returned by the Lady Rams. Overhaul with the dig. Harrison up to jump again, as that's going to be attempted to be dug out of the ground by number 5, Brittany Lane, but she hits it out of bounds. Not what you want to see there if you're the Lady Rams. 18-17 here in the second period in favor of the Rams.
McLaren with the nice serve there. Quick ram return, and it's coming up for a quick tap return. Not expected by the Spartans, but still they are able to come up and return with a slam.
That was a good.
And number 5, Ellis Winery.
Yeah. She did really good there. Came up and got the ball, got it over. Good point.
Yeah, Winery, good job there getting the point. There's a Lady Rams on their return. And, McLaren tried to set that one up to someone on the front line, but, it just went through her hands. Her hands spread a little too quickly, and she wasn't able to get a handle on the ball to hit it over. Serving number 1, Shea Saunders serving. Serves to Harrison. Harrison to McLaren. Back to Harrison. Her hit is deflected back. This time she hits it off the top of the net, and it's a point. That is good for the Lady Spartans. We are tied at 19. Abby far back into the game. And really, what an up-and-down game, and what a great game so far.
That was a really good spike there, right there by Harrison to get the Lady Spartans back in the game. Now it's tied at 19 all.
And Harrison will be serving here right now as she floats it over the net. Dug out by the Lady Rams, and they're going to get it back over the net. Winery tipped it into the net. And McLaren tried to get it out, and Farr tried to go for it, but nothing new in there. 2019 for the Lady Rams.
Close game. This is a nail-biting game. I mean, this set could determine whether Spartans win or have to go on for another round. And neck and neck like that is something you don't want if you're trying to win.
Yeah, this could be anybody's game at this point. 20-19. Either team has a fair chance of winning this.
As the Lady Rams get another point hit into the net by the Lady Spartans. And we're going to have a timeout, Lady Spartans. So Webb's going to take a timeout here. And, the timeouts aren't long enough for us to take a timeout ourselves. But so we're just going to recap the game so far. First game, Lady Spartans won pretty easily that game, if I had to say so. And in this game, 21-19, play to 25, win by at least 2. And it'll be the serve for number 8, Kennedy Wade for Lady Rams. She has a jump serve overhaul to McLaren, who sets up Saliba, and Saliba with just a kill at number 5, Brittany Lane, but she's able to get that back over. And there's Winery, another one right back to Lane. And this time they will be setting up Saliba once more, and she hits it right into that net, into the front line of the Lady Rams. Harrison diving out of nowhere to hit that ball. And the Lady Spartans wanted the point, saying that they touched the net. And they will indeed get the point. It was first called Lady Rams point, but now the Lady Spartans get the point 21-20 in favor of the Rams, in favor of Grace Christian Academy. Vidito in from A's. What a rally there, and that really could be a momentum changer.
That really could. You're the Lady Spartans. You're glad you got a lucky break there and one of the Grace players touched the net. You're lucky you got that point.
Mary Carroll overhauled the nice serve there. An excellent spike there by far. Completely untouchable. Tying the score up at 21-21. Really neck and neck. Whoever can get to 25 or win by 2 at this point will get the set, and that will determine how the game will follow.
Yeah, it definitely will. It's tied at 21 here. Mary Carroll overhooked the serve, and the Lady Rams get it over the net, tipped back by the Lady Spartans. And they're just playing the tip game in front of the net right now. As Saliba tips that one over. And Catherine Saliba gets the point for the Lady Spartans. 22-21 in their favor. Wow, what a point, Russ.
What a point, dude. That was close. It was right at the net. No one was willing to hit it hard to get it over to risk the loss of the point. And really, it's just who could get it quickly. And then the miscommunication there with the Rams give the Spartans 23-21 as the Rams will time out. And really, this is, if the Spartans can maintain the momentum, get 2 more on the board quickly, they'll get it. But there's still, the Rams probably will not go down without a fight, as expected.
They will not. The Spartans have finally reclaimed that momentum that they had going into the first game. They need to keep it up. And they want to win the game.
Yeah, they definitely do. As you just heard them break their huddle with 1, 2, 3, win it. And they're going out to give that final push here. 23-21. Close game, nail-biting game. Lady Spartans won the first game in good fashion. Overhaul with the serve. And that's going to be Delane. She's not able to dig it and hit it to one of her teammates. And so the Lady Spartans gain that point, 24-21. Overhaul trying to serve for the game here. You know, we've already talked about that she's a key senior. Actually, the team captain on this Spartan volleyball team. And here she comes, serving for the game here, as the CAK volleyball team is in attendance. Serves it into the net. That's a point for the Lady Rams.
That really kills momentum. And now the Rams have a clear chance with a strong server now. If they can easily get 2 more points tied up and create a 2-out to win by 2 scenario as the serve is in.
Yeah, Belle Carroll serving. She serves it to Harrison. Vidito with the spike, but it's dug out by the Lady Rams, and they're going to try and spike it over themselves. Out of the backside, and that's going to be Lady Spartans win. They win the game. They win that game, and, well, they win the entire match. They play best 2 out of 3 games, and what a great job there by this team. Russell, I mean, you just can't say enough about the teamwork, about how great a teamwork they have, especially to come from behind.
No, certainly not. This is probably a well-developed team, as you can see from watching this. We have strong players, all their communications strong, and with 3 freshmen start as the starters for the varsity. You know, next year we're gonna have a complete powerhouse next year. There's no doubt about that. Then we have a whole junior varsity team of freshmen and sophomores. So next year we're gonna just be the powerhouse.
You're certainly right, Russell. We can expect big things from the Lady Spartans next year, and this was a great comeback win tonight. What do you think about that?
I wouldn't so much call it a comeback win with that quick early first set lead, but the second set was kind of a nail biter. I would agree with that. And we'll be right back after a few minutes.
Commercial break in 5.
We're gonna have a quick commercial break.
4,
We'll be right back.
3, 2, 1. Coming back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So welcome back, Spartan fans, as we are here bringing you Lady Spartan basketball live from the Lee Athletic Center in Maya Mattel alongside Russell Wilder and Will Lawver. Well, guys, what a great couple of games that we did here. And, you know, we're done for the night broadcasting. And Lady Spartans really, they just showed their teamwork here tonight. That's the main thing that they had, is a district game between Grace and CAK will be going on. We're not going to be calling that. So what are you guys thinking?
I thought it was a really good effort by the Lady Spartans tonight for the win. They really came through, and they got their teamwork and the momentum on their side, and they got the win.
And as always, the practice makes perfect. And as you can see, we need the Spartans still need it. We're not perfected. We're not the best, but we won, and that is what matters the most. And if we can maintain that momentum that puts it forward as they got in the first, then there's no doubt that they could be champions this year.
Yeah, definitely, no doubt. As a big game at Farragut Thursday night, and that's going to be a tough one. As we're going to move quickly into the post-game show, we're just going to wrap it up here. And well, so Russell, for you, what were the keys to this game for the Lady Spartans?
Keys to the game, as seen in every other Lady Spartans game this season, was their quick set, win that first set quickly, lead. But then the part that we need to really work on is keeping that momentum to the second set.
Right, and so, Will, for you, what happened with the Lady Rams tonight? Were they just not in it? Were they? Well, we could see that they were physically in it, but talk about how mentally they might have just not been as.
Well, with the Lady Rams, I think they got down, and because they were so behind really early in the first game, and they didn't have that 0-0 mentality, and that really put them in a hole for the second game and the end of the first game.
Yeah, definitely did. And, well, folks, we're just about done here from the Lee Athletics Center. Once again, your final score, Lady Spartans will win it in best 2 out of 3 sets. Win the first set, they won the first game, 25-11, and the second one, 25-22, I believe. Just a great job overall by the Lady Spartans tonight. And as this was sort of a surprise broadcast to all of us, as the soccer game between Webb and Catholic got canceled. And so we figured, hey, why not move up here? Caught the game just in time. For Will Lawver, Russell Wilder, I'm Mine. So thanks so long, folks. Until next time, dream of Spartan victory.